Nityananda Shri Advaita Radha Namo.
What the hell is she doing?
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. Song Glory Srila Prabhupada. I hope you all are well. I welcome you all to His Holiness Candramauli Maharaj's daily call. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. Song Glory Srila Prabhupada. So Maharaj, I'm assuming we are doing chapter 12 and Bhumi Gita. Which is, Canto 12, Bhumi Gita, chapter 3, and verse 34. And I'll share the screen soon. Just give me a moment. It's coming up. Yes. Thank you.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Raswakayam Mahahara. Urya Patya Kataridyaha. Sasvakatuka Basinyas. Chauyam Mayuri Sahasaha. Women will become much smaller in size and they will eat too much, have more children than they can properly take care of, and lose all shyness. They will always speak harshly and exhibit qualities of thievery, deceit, and unrestrained audacity. Hare Krishna. So we get a little bit of insight of what's happening in Kali Yuga already. Women are by nature sweet, and when they speak harshly, it just destroys all of their womanly qualities. Okay, next verse. Panayasyanti Vaishudraham Kirata Kutakarinaham Anatpadyapti Mamsyante Bhartam Sada Jigupsitam. Businessmen will engage in petty commerce and earn their money by cheating. Even when there is no emergency, people will consider any degraded occupation quite acceptable. Purport. Although other occupations are available, people do not hesitate to work in coal mines, slaughterhouses, steel mills, deserts, floating oil rigs, submarines, and other equally abominable situations. As also mentioned here, businessmen will consider cheating and lying to be a perfectly respectable way to do business. These are the symptoms of the age of Kali. Upagyanti mirandasya gyanarjana salakaya chaksun militam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Bhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadam Mayam Dadati Swampadantikam. Ma'am Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasnaya Bhutale Shrimakti Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Odamani Pacharine. Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paschyatyare Sitarine Vanchakopaturvischa. Vipa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo. Vaishnavebhyo Namaho Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasa Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So here, in these last two verses, we're getting more of the symptoms of the age of Kali. And these symptoms are no more futuristic. Many of them are happening even today. People will accept any kind of abominable activity in order to make money. They will even risk their lives, risk everything for the nature of money. There's an old saying, money is the honey. And if you have money and you can get a honey, if you have money, you can do things. If you have money, you can get things. If you have money, you can go places. If you have money, you can control other people. Money is the god of the age of Kali. As Srila Prabhupada was saying in one of his talks, that this whole Western civilization is artificial, and because it is situated on the money principle only. Everything situated on money. You'll see even the humanities and various necessities that people need is a profit industry. In fact, the more the need is, the more people make a profit from that need, because they know people will spend money for the basic needs. Food industries, medical industries, educational industries are big businesses because people need them. Whereas in a human culture, these things are provided by the society free of charge because it is a necessity. And therefore, people will pay some taxes, and that tax money will be used to give people free food, free medical care, free education. That was actually the Vedic society, that the necessities were not a franchise for big corporations. It's like if you get sick, you'll spend all kinds of money in order to get well again. And they have these different programs now when they give you health insurance, but you wind up paying large amounts of money every month from your check into this health insurance program. And then if you get sick, they draw from that. You wind up paying something anyway, and then the health insurance premiums go up. So they always finding a way to cheat people and get money, because money is everything. And Prabhupada said, because the society is situated on a false stability, in other words, there's no stability in life based on money, because money is just some kind of way of doing business or getting things done. Real society is based on character, culture, aesthetic, and moral values. And of course, spiritual principles along with. But that's not there. That's all being sublimated or relegated to a lesser important and even completely extinguished in most places. And money is the honey. And who is the people who are the most popular people in the world? The people you hear the most are the people who have the most money. So a person who is rich, and now the richness is extraordinary, where people are billionaires. And corporations are making billions of dollars on medical treatments to people that don't even work. So not only are they taking your money, but they're killing you at the same time with their so-called cures for sicknesses. And that's a fact. I'm not just making a statement. It says that more people die in hospitals from the cure than they do from the actual disease they enter into. Because these people are not educated enough to know how to do, and allopathic medicine is just some creation. Real medicine is Ayurveda. But that's a whole different story. The point I wanted to make is this whole money culture is simply become a gigantic monster that's gobbling up everybody. And therefore, people will do anything to get money just to survive. And even honest people will turn to cheating. And other people will find different ways to expand their franchise in different areas. So money is everything. And people who have money, they're considered the gods of the age. And it shows that, just like 99% of the resources in the world are owned by 1% of the population. And that's a fact. And then the poor person has to struggle very hard just to maintain. And the government is always taking their money anyway in various forms of taxes and tariffs that they place upon everything, especially the necessities of life. You buy a car. I remember when I was a young boy growing up in America, you could buy a brand new car for $4,000. Now you have to pay $50,000 for a car, $40,000 maybe. And the whole value of money has changed. And so people work hard and the car breaks down. One of the biggest industries is the replacement of car parts. Anybody who's in that business is making a lot of money. So yeah, it's a cheating society. So the whole idea of values, aesthetic, personal care, personal needs has been sublimated to profit. If there's no profit in it, we can't take care of you. You're going to have to find someone who can. That's just the way it is. Or you have to take care of yourself. And we live in these cities now that are full of pollution, crime, drug addiction, various unsafe and unhealthy ways to live. Because there's so many people now coming into the cities, they're building these big high-rise buildings with like 25 floors in it, sometimes even more, 40 floors, 80 floors. And they stack these apartments one on top of the other, like little building blocks. You live in this box way up in the air. And, just to go down to the bottom takes you so long. You have to take these things called elevators, which sometimes don't work. So, the whole civilization, because it has switched its emphasis from personal care, aesthetic values, moral principles, and spiritual activity to money, everything is falling apart. These are the symptoms of the age of Kali. Here it says businessmen will consider cheating in line a perfectly respectable way to do business. Yeah. In the Manu Samhita, it gives a guideline for those who do business. Business is meant to be done as a service to society and not simply an adventure to become rich. In other words, you're allowed to do business and you're allowed to make a profit, but you're only allowed to make 25% profit. And then you take part of that and you put it back into the business to expand the business. But your profit is not allowed 50%, 100%, 500%, 1,000%. Just like some of these corporations, just during the Corona lockdown, what's that famous place? What is it? Where you can buy anything. What is that called? Amazon. Amazon doubled their profits in 1 year during that time. The big farm companies, they tripled. They made billions of dollars on this so-called pandemic. It was supposed to be a crisis, and all of these big corporations are making billions of dollars on people suffering. So this is just the way the whole society works. Everyone wants money. Money is the honey, but there's always bees around the honey. So this is a pretty abominable. So we're hearing more about the age of Kali, and we're also seeing it right in front of us as we live from day to day. Next verse. Patim taksyanti nirdvavyam Britya apya kilotamam Brityam vipanam pataya Kaulam gas japa yaswinihi. Servants will abandon a master who has lost his wealth, even if the master is a saintly person of exemplary character. Masters will abandon an incapacitated servant, even if that servant has been in the family for generations. Cows will be abandoned or killed when they stop giving milk. Wow, this is happening right in front of our face. In India, the cow is considered sacred, not because Indian people are primitive worshippers of mythological totems, but because Hindus intelligently understand the cow as mother. As children, nearly all of us were nourished with cow's milk, and therefore the cow is one of our mothers. Certainly one's mother is sacred, therefore we should not kill the sacred cow. So if I was just listening to Prabhupada today, speaking about how abominable, the cow gives nice milk, and so many things that are beneficial for the human society, cow dung, which have all nutrients in it, can be used to turn into methane gas. And then when the cow can't give milk anymore, especially in the Western countries, these dairy farms, they sell the cow to the slaughterhouses. And then the cow gets slaughtered, and the dairies make money from selling cows to the slaughterhouses. And what they do to the cow is really abominable. They push the cow to give as much milk as she can, and within 5 years, she's unable to give milk anymore. And then after 5 years, they send it to the slaughterhouse. So, therefore, this cow killing is really destroying the entire quality of human life. It's one of the most heinous and most destructive aspects of modern civilization. People are suffering so much in so many different ways because of killing the cows. The cow is very sacred. It's mother. It's a beautiful animal, just like yesterday. I'm here in one place in India called Kolhapur, and I met one young man in my travels, and he had a goshala. So he invited me to come to his goshala. His father was a very important person in the government, and so I came, and they showed me his goshala, and I was amazed. It was one of the best goshalas I ever saw. And this was from a secular person. Cows were so nicely taken care of. The calves had their own little areas. I went there, the cows were friendly. I was feeding the cows. And they were telling me that when they first started, there was a whole tree full of owls that were living on the property. But as soon as they started to bring in cows, take care of cows, all the owls disappeared. So, and many other things that I saw from this particular, these cows, and they're cared for. They're being taken care of nicely, and therefore they're happy. They know they're not going to be killed. When a cow knows it's going to be killed, it lives in fear. It can sense. Cows are very sensitive. They can pick up on your energy, even if you don't speak. They can pick up on your energy. And if you have a violent nature, they become very fearful. And as this, just like the devotees were talking with Prabhupada, I was listening today. And it's a fact, even it's mentioned, even in the secular society, when a cow knows it's going to be killed, when it gives its milk, it secretes these enzymes into the milk due to the fear of the cow. And these enzymes are actually bad for anyone's health. They're caused, they come by way of fear. And when people drink that milk, they get sick. That's why some people declare milk is not healthy. It's not healthy if you're sinful, obviously. You can't expect the cow to give you something beneficial when you're killing the cow. You're going to get the reactions for your horrible activities in the form of disease. And that's what's happening. So many people get sick because of milk, only because this milk that comes from these fearful cows is not really healthy. But if you protect cows, care for cows, not just protect them, but care for them, they give very, very large quantities of milk, and they're very happy. When the cow is happy, then the milk is of high quality, it's nutritious, it's beneficial, it gives finer brain tissues, it nourishes the bones in the body, which is necessary for proper balance of calcium. Of course, not too much milk, but the idea of having milk in the diet is actually part of human culture, and it's proven. And milk is a needed item within a person's diet. Milk products. This idea of no milk is really cutting off one's longevity of life, because milk is necessary in proportion. So here, the reactions that people are getting from slaughterhouse, killing of cows, is so heavy. The whole society is going to hell. If they would just close all the slaughterhouses, and after a few months, you'll see the whole society change automatically. Because it's such a horrible, sinful activity, because this is a very beautiful animal. It's a sacred animal. Krishna himself worships the cows. Krishna used to come to the cows in the morning, and he would take and pull the cow's ears. Just like I was on this farm just yesterday, and they were telling me these cows have big ears because Krishna was pulling on the ears of the cow. That's a fact. Some of these cows have really, really big ears. And they are, Krishna's planet is called Goloka, the planet of the cows. Krishna is called Gopal, who gives protections of the cows. Krishna is called Govinda, he gives pleasure to the cows. So God is very inclined to cows, because cow is one of the most beautiful and most useful and sacred of all living beings. Therefore, in Mano Samhita, it says that killing a cow is equal in sin to killing 2 men. Killing a cow is equal to killing in sin and killing 2 men. That's how important the cow is from the economic point of view, for livelihood, and for people. Just like nowadays, even some of the material organizations have come up with, they understand, they have this thing called cow therapy now. You can look it up. You can go and live with cows if you have depression, mental diseases, or some stress. You pay some money, you stay with cows for a little while, and just by being with the cows, all of these things gradually reduce, and your mind again is normal and peaceful. Cows we can't really glorify the cow. It says the cow is the embodiment of all the demigods. Lakshmi is situated in cow dung. The goddess of fortune is situated within the dung of the cow. We don't, unless you really, really stay with cows, you cannot understand how wonderful cows are. You can hear about it, we can read about it in the scriptures. But when you start familiarizing yourselves with cows themselves, you understand. Here is a very, very special living entity. It's given by God for the human prosperity of the society. And what's happening, especially in this age, they're killing their own prosperity and causing inauspicious and sinful activities, which is a horrible, heavy karmic reaction on the society. And not only do people who involve, just like one man came up to me, I did a program last night where I am. He says, I'm in the catering business. And, when people come to me for catering, I try to give them vegetarian, but they want meat also. So he said, I've been providing that. But he was in such distress. And I basically told him, don't take any more of these contracts that require meat and just do your non-veg thing. And he was happy to hear that. And he actually agreed with me because I could see he was suffering because he was cooking meat. And it's explained that those who kill the cow, those who send it to those who butcher the cow after it's killed, those who pack the meat, those who sell it in the stores, those who buy it in the stores, those who cook it, and those who eat it. All of these people get the same sinful reaction. Just like sometimes I meet devotees, and they're with their family, and they're devotees. They don't eat meat. This man I was talking to last night, he doesn't eat meat. And in order to provide for their family members who insist on making meat, they cook. And I tell them, you're going to get a reaction too. Doesn't matter how much you feel like you don't want a reaction, you're sympathetic to the cow. If you engage in activity that is supportive of cow killing, you will get a reaction for that. There's no doubt about it. And people who are completely absorbed in eating meat and don't care about what they eat, they're cutting their life short by poisoning themselves with meat. And at the same time, they're getting a sinful reaction, and their lives are never peaceful, never happy, always full of calamities and suffering. It's just the way it is. Yeah. So God has arranged for these animals to come as part of our society as a way to live happily and healthy. And these are nature's pets. Nowadays, we want to worship the dog. Well, what does the dog provide for the society? It gives he just passes stool and barks. It's a good wash dog. Dogs are good for guarding things, but most of the time they scare people. But anyway, so the whole society is kill the cow and love the dog. And where real human society is, the dogs are not exploited, but they're not allowed to come into the house. They're not allowed to, take part in a lot of the activities. They're given their place in the countryside to live. And of course, if they live in the towns too, people feed them on the streets, but people don't keep pets for dogs. Of course, now in India, people are starting to do that now. They're having their pet dogs because they think it's fashionable to follow into the Western ways now. So India is adopting all of the sinful activities of the West and considering it be, wow, this is something really new. This is something different, something we've been lacking for generations in our culture. Yeah, but what you're lacking is the sinful reactions you get from these activities. That's what you were lacking. Now you're going to get it. So this is the way, this is Kali Yuga. And this verse, I think, and this one here is very important, that this killing of the cows is the most heinous in all sinful activities in society. It's destroying everything. People society, value, everything is going down because of cow killing. Okay, so we can speak a lot about the benefits of the cow. There are so many benefits that one can attain to, but we'll stop here and open it up for questions. Supriya has her first question there.
Yes, Supriya Mataji. Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you so much for the class in your time. Supriya Mataji, please go ahead with your question. I think Mataji has already sent up one question in the chat as well. Let me read it for you, Maharaj. So Supriya Mataji said, can we consider cow milk even vegetarian? Krishna used to drink milk by cow, which was not abused, but that's not the case these days. So how drinking milk is justified?
Well, yeah, one of my god sisters had just put out a book called Bhakti Milk. And even so-called, what they call it, these farms that they give, or what they call organic milk, they let the cow live all the way to the end of its life, and then they sell it after, when it's after, I don't know what they exactly do. But if you take any kind of milk from any kind of dairy industry other than our own farms, then you are actually supporting cow killing. And that's been proven by this book. I would recommend it. It's called Bhakti Milk. It's been done by my god sister, Vishwatika. She's really documented it really nice and supported it with many good arguments, showing that we should only take milk from our farms, Krishna conscious farms. Otherwise, we are supporting the slaughterhouse industry by taking even from dairies that supposedly have what they call ahimsa milk. And this is just a terminology. So I would suggest you read the book. It's called Bhakti Milk. If you want a copy of it, I have it on the, I have it on my computer. It's not so long. It's about 72 pages. I can send it, and you can get a copy, and you can read it online. But it's
Hello,
Bhakti.
Maharaj.
Here it is.
Supriya here.
Yeah.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Maharaj. Maharaj, I have a similar question on the same line. The thing is that I watched a couple of documentaries on how the milk industry runs and how they actually treat cows, and it's very heartbreaking. Those videos are very heartbreaking. So thing is that they litter cow life is 25, approximately 25 years. But after first year or second year, they start experiencing abuse, and they experience abuse so severely. Literally, they are impregnated by that artificial means, and this is just like having a rape. Okay, just because cow cannot give milk without having a baby calf, so they are artificially impregnated, and after that her calf is separated from the mother even without that calf being given any chance to taste the milk. Okay, they are separated, and if that calf is a male, then that calf is directly sent to the butcher house. Otherwise, that calf, that baby calf is say female, then she is in line with the same torture as the mother. So this is literally very heartbreaking.
Everything you're saying has been documented in this book, Bhakti Milk. I know all about this stuff you're talking about. And it's horrible. Stay away from all of these dairy industries and only take milk from our farms. If you do that, you'll be fine. I do that. I don't take milk from outside, even if they call it ahimsa milk. I don't care what it is. It has to be from our devotees. Sometimes our devotees keep cows. They're not part of they're devotees. They take care of the cow their whole life. The cows are happy. Don't take any milk from any of these dairy industries. You're buying into the whole slaughterhouse business, and you're going to get a reaction for that. This is shown in this book, Bhakti Milk. I helped with the book myself. I know all about what is going on and what you're talking about. It's horrible. And you can't even print some of the things that they do in public because it's so atrocious how badly they treat the cows.
Yes.
Really, really bad.
And when that cow has reached the say old age, when she is now unable to give any more babies, so last time she is allowed to have a pregnancy, go through pregnancy, have a baby in her womb, and then both of them are killed just so that they can get more meat. And this is all while she is alive.
Well, the devotees that online should be listening to what she's saying, because what she's saying is really important. Stay away from milk from any commercial industries, whether they call themselves a hymns or not. We don't kill the cow. No, they still abuse the cow in order to squeeze the milk out. And sometimes when the cow gets old, they sell it to the slaughterhouses. This is a policy that goes on regularly. This has been documented. So just remain without milk unless you can get milk from our farms. Therefore, the GBC made a resolution about 5 years ago, and they said by the year 2022, Janmashtami, every ISKCON temple around the world must have a program for getting milk from our own cows, and that milk will be used for the deities. But we haven't come up to that standard yet. Only a few temples and a few other farms are doing it. We have, just like, for instance, in London, you have Bhaktivedanta Manor. So they have some milk, but they don't have enough because they haven't developed cow care properly. They don't have enough milk in order to supply the needs of the deities and the devotees who want it. New Vrindavan, they hardly started. Gita Nagari in America is the best place. They have put their emphasis on cow care and making milk available to many temples around in America. The unfortunate part is that it's so expensive. That's the difficult part. So yeah, our society needs to come up to that. No outside milk products, cheese, whatever, coming from any other source but our own sources. Until we do that, well, we're still going to have problems in our society. Because, as long as we're buying into some of these outside milk sources, there's going to be problems. We're directly and indirectly supporting cow slaughter and cow abuse. And read the book. I think Satyabhama posted the link from Amazon. It's there. It's called Bhakti Milk. Post it again, so maybe everyone didn't see it the first time. Keep it up. Well, if it's on the chat, then just go to the chat and find it. And get that book. And if you want it quickly, I'll send it online just tonight, as soon as I finish this class.
Maharaj, alternative for this cow milk I found is that vegan milk or soya milk. And it doesn't taste that different from cow milk, but yeah, you cannot drink it just like that. And it involves a little bit of work. So can we use the soya milk instead?
Yeah, soy milk's okay, but it's not milk. Almond milk is not milk. Milk is milk. You can call it whatever you want, but it's not milk. Milk comes from the cows, not from soybeans. Because they can make it look that same color doesn't mean it's milk.
Okay.
You can take it. I mean, I'm not saying you shouldn't drink it. You can drink soy milk, almond milk, and all these other things that they call milk that are not milk. But if you really want milk, then you have to go for what the cow gives. This is created by God directly for human society. This is God's plan for the youth, for the welfare of society, cows. You can't find some, circumvent the whole idea and expect to get the same benefit. It's not possible.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you.
Thanks, Supriya Mataji. Namrata Mataji, please go ahead.
Encourage your temple leaders to get with this Bhakti Milk program. It's important. Namrata.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to
Let's make a point here. If you're sitting in the classroom and somebody's giving a class and it's your guru and he calls on you and you ask a question, you call him. Generally, you just ask the question. So let's drop all these formalities of please accept my humble obeisances, Guru Maharaj, this, that. Just keep the philosophy on tack. You don't want to get into all this other stuff. This is a discussion. That's for another time period. I understand the nature of bhakti and what you're doing is not wrong, but it doesn't fit into this discussion. If everybody's offering obeisances and saying thank you all the time, where is the philosophical points? We have to stay focused on what we're talking about. Questions and answers. That's all.
Okay, Guru Maharaj. Noted. Thank you. Maharaj,
It's not a guru sangha. This is a class on philosophy.
yes, Guru Maharaj. So, Guru Maharaj, just to address the question of what Supriya Mataji was telling, in Mumbai, there is a Haribol app which is providing ahimsa milk to entire Mumbai. So this is the initiative of ISKCON itself. So one can just one just have to put in the details where the person is staying in which locality, and they provide you milk, ahimsa milk there. So the app is Haribol app.
It's from our farms, the cows, the milk.
Yes.
Yeah, we don't call that ahimsa milk, we call that bhakti milk.
Okay. Okay, go on.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you. Yeah, you can put that link up, put that contact information up.
Yes, I will. Sure.
Thank you.
Thanks, Namrata Mataji. Shridevi Mataji, please go ahead.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj, for breaking because the importance of mother cow is not emphasized. Importance of mother cow is really not emphasized, and just like you said, how important is mother cow, how valuable she is. Classes just on mother cow should be held in every temple to bring out this point and emphasize how we directly or indirectly by making sure we take only milk that is coming from our protected cows. I'll be surprised to know that in Mayapur there is no such milk available.
Yeah, it's a shame.
No guarantee, because we don't know what the local but Pancharatna Prabhu said in class that I went and saw a herd, like 100 cows were there and 3 bulls.
Sri Devi Mataji, your voice is breaking. Would you be able to type it, your question? If you have any question or comments, sorry.
No, you can try it again. If you speak a
Yeah.
little slower, it'll work. You're speaking too fast, therefore it's not working.
Pancharatna Prabhu said what local Ghoshas are doing. That's the name for the cowherd men here, because he went and saw a herd of cows. There were 200 bulls. Where were all the bulls, he asked. So it is obvious that these local people are sending their cows to the house.
Yeah, yeah. One of the many travesties here.
And this is Mayapur, the spiritual headquarters of ISKCON.
What can I say? What can anybody say?
Yes, Guru Maharaj.
But yeah, there's other things going on in Mayapur that is not, that gives alternatives. But I don't want to get into all of this detailed discussion right now.
Thank you, Sri Devi
Mother
Mataji.
Vishwadika, Mother Vishwadika milk at the ILS that is going to happen now in the first week of February here. It's called ILS. That's for everyone who doesn't know. It's called ILS meetings. And Mother Vishwadika is having a milk and how important mother cow is.
Yeah. My book just came out yesterday. It's finished. It's about nature's way, Krishna's way, natural living, which talks a lot about this also. So my book, I hope my book will be available. My book will be available in the ILS also for the meetings.
How can
So,
we ensure?
You're still breaking up. We can't hear you.
Maybe Mataji.
Sure.
Your internet is not working, so it's just not working.
Maybe type it, Mataji, and we will read it for you, if that's okay. Thank you. Sorry. Shilpesh Prabhu, please go ahead for the next question.
Haribol. I met Kala, I think it's Kalakanta Prabhuji, who's, I think, GBC for cows here in London. And I asked him the question, like, we can't get bhakti milk. So what do? You know, we still have milk in our diet. And he just made the suggestion, you know, like for every liter of milk you buy, maybe you could make a donation towards the cow protection as well. So in some ways, I mean, you know, we're at least trying to support, even though we are karmically doing the wrong thing by buying normal milk. But, you know, in some ways we're alleviating, you know, we're trying to support cow protection at the same time. And it's just ironic that every time we drive to Bhaktivedanta Manor, there's a McDonald's right outside it. You have to pass the McDonald's. And it just goes to show what kind of world we're in.
Yeah. McDonald's, that's one of the many features of Kali Yuga. Yeah. If we follow that resolution of the GBC, and every temple has to have a program for getting bhakti milk. But I don't think the temples are taking it serious. A lot of them are not, for whatever reason. And she mentions that resolution in her book, Vishwadika. Her book is really good. You need to get it. It's right to the point. And it answers all of the arguments that people give in support of the whole idea of ahimsa of milk in dairies. So Candramauli Swami has written a beautiful article showing the fallacy of that argument also. When it comes to money, profit, things, values, are human values, spiritual values are subliminated, are secondary. Everything centers around money. This is the disease in Kali Yuga. The disease. Scarlett.
Hare Krishna. My children have many cousins. They live in Iran, and I try sometimes some now and then I talk to them and try to make them to learn more about Krishna consciousness, about food and about milk and everything. From them, I get to hear that in India, many eat goat and lamb and chicken. What should we do? Why should we don't do? We also eat lamb and chicken, not cow, but lamb and chicken. They do it also. So I don't know how to answer to that.
Yeah, it's the old adage, two wrongs don't make a right. If somebody's doing something wrong and you're doing it, you say, well, because they're doing it, I'll do it. That doesn't make it right. Two wrongs make two wrongs. If somebody else does it, it becomes three wrongs. So why follow the wrong path? They're following something that's wrong. That's all. You can't make an excuse. People will make excuses and saying, well, because he did it, I can do it. Because that person is a criminal, I can be a criminal too. That's ludicrous. There are values that you have to follow. And that's what Krishna consciousness teaches, values. Human values. Spiritual values.
But the thing is, they are Muslims, and the Muslim, all of them eat meat. I don't know.
That doesn't mean it's right. Just because.
No. I don't mean that. I don't mean that. I say they say we are Muslim. It's not forbidden for us to do it.
Yeah, that's Prabhupada talks about Gandhi. When Gandhi was asked, the Muslims are killing cows and eating it, you should try to stop it. He said, well, I can't do that because that's their religion. So if my religion is to cut your throat, then it's because it's my religion, it's okay. Does that make sense? My religion is to kill, therefore, because it's my religion, it's okay. That's nonsense. The principle of the religion starts with the principle of nonviolence. That is the first principle. Kindness to all living entities. And all living entities are part and parcel of Krishna. So to kill for the sake of eating, you can't avoid that, but you have to understand what is the principle of livelihood that is necessary. You don't need meat to live. That's a fact. I haven't eaten meat for 52 years. And I'm still around, along with many other people. And there's people who have never eaten meat their whole life, and they live long lives. And so it's not needed. It's just that it's the vicious tongue. That's why I'd say the tongue is the most voracious and difficult to control.
Thank you.
At the end of Kali Yuga, when there will be no grains, no milk, no fruits and vegetables available, people will be killing their own children and eating them. Prabhupada said, if you really want to eat meat, just stick around to the end of Kali Yuga and kill your own children. People are doing that today now, too. They're killing babies, and they're taking the babies and sending them to restaurants for delicacies in some of these so-called exclusive restaurants in some, highly developed material countries. It's a barbaric civilization. You have to understand it. They're all barbarians out there. If you think people are cultured and civilized, just look at their behavior and their habits. Look at the problems in the world. There's so many problems. Wise people are sinful. As long as they have sinful life, there's going to be more and more problems. Prabhupada said it. It's there. It says in the scriptures, vegetables, fruits, grains, milk products, legumes. These are the foods for human beings. Tiger eats it. Nobody will criticize a tiger for eating milk because that's Krishna's arrangement for that tiger. But if you want to be like a tiger, then you'll take birth as a tiger in your next life. So you can run around the jungle eating meat. Then nobody will criticize you for it. We don't accept all of these things that the society goes on as way. I mean, if you just listen to Srila Prabhupada, he takes apart all of this, all the so-called values of human society and shows how people live simply for profit and exploitation. That's all. The whole society is like that. Animals are spiritual beings too. Krishna doesn't make a distinction. Well, you can kill this animal because it's not human. But Prabhupada said, he's listening to Prabhupada today, he said, if you want to eat the cow, wait till it dies. Let it finish its life out. You're actually a determined meat eater.
Sorry, I think internet connection has been lost from Maharaj's. Okay.
I just stopped talking. So yeah, you have to understand, we live in a very, very barbaric civilization run by barbarians, run by rakshasas coming from other planets. Human values are not even a consideration. Within a very small sector of society, there are some human values left, but that's all being destroyed by the way we live in this lifestyle. Therefore, illicit sex, intoxication, meat eating, and gambling go on as ways of livelihood in this age. And it's accepted as being okay. What was unacceptable years ago is being accepted now as normal. You see how society has become more and more degraded, and it will continue to degrade. This is Kali Yuga. Therefore, the only solution is Krishna consciousness.
Thanks, Maharaj. Susanna Mataji, you have a question?
Hare Krishna, devotees and Guru Maharaj. I would like to just add something that maybe it's obvious, but how we became devotees is first we got some. Maybe we were lucky enough to get a book or to get some preaching from a friend. But personally, I believe that some of us got some very bad experience in life, and so that Krishna protected and held our hands, and then met Guru Maharaj, and Guru Maharaj has done so much for us, and we all got close to some farm where we saw how cows can be kept in a way that they should be everywhere. And if we read all these stories with Krishna Katha, and we connect to the cows, personally, I miss very much being close to the farm, and I got far from it, and I realized that even if I'm very nicely engaged in service in the house, actually, I miss devotees, and the only possibility for me to connect is here. And first of all, I would like to express my gratitude to you to be connected. And on the other hand, it's just logic to protect cows in some ways, to be protected from this disgusting situation. In the past few years, we have experienced that it's reality now, so it's not Bhagavatam anymore. Personally, I realized that I can't really go out of the house, and I teach online only, which means that I'm fully, that's what Maharaj said yesterday or the day before, that we should socialize with devotees. Otherwise, we are connected like this, and it's very good. But I feel that I really must do something to get closer to devotees, because it's not a solution to lock yourself up and maybe go out and distribute books. I experienced it also, and it was beautiful. But cow protection is something that maybe solves the whole problem of this. And if we, sorry, Maharaj.
Yeah, thank you. You made many, many nice points. Thank you.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you. Yeah. So you have many opportunities there. You have New Brajadam, which is an ideal Krishna conscious community with, cow care is high on the list. There's so many benefits too. Yeah. Thank you. I
would like to make this move there, actually, but I have so much fears inside that I'm quite protected in this forest place, and it's calm, and you can read, and it's silent, and I can, how to say, I'm quite not antisocial, but mostly I like how to say, to engage in thoughts that is not disturbed. But I realize that I won't be advancing in casing this way.
Yeah.
Please give me your mercy that I should be close to the cows or to the farm, or actually get to somewhere where I can contribute more, because here it's
That's
precious.
where I met. That's
Sorry.
how I met you.
Yeah,
In the room now.
yeah, it was beautiful.
So
I was kind of scared of my anarthas being thrown into my face. Yeah.
art are something we don't want. And so when you associate with devotees, you can see them more. That's will help us get rid of them.
But it's so difficult to face all these things all the time, and you can't make offenses all the time. Even if I stay silent and not react to the thing, it's sometimes an offense.
Right.
But
When he see what how he does. Pray to Krishna.
thank you. Yeah, I'm doing that all the time.
Good.
Not all the
Mhm.
time, but most of the time.
Thanks, Susan Mataji. Shrimati Mataji. Maharaj, your voice is a bit fainted for some reason.
Hare Krishna. Mataji, can you take Scarlett Mataji? I think she was asking, but I have a different topic question. So I just want her to continue with her question.
No, me too. I have a question related to yesterday.
Okay.
So I can wait. Thank you.
Okay. Hare Krishna Maharaj. Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj, I have a question about money. In one of the verses, the topic of money came. So I was thinking like whatever, how much money we earn, but we are not satisfied with that. So always devotees or people outside, they are always behind money and they want to earn more, and they always want to compare with others. Like I want to do that. Suppose if anybody goes on a vacation, expensive tickets and expensive like cruise vacations like that. So they want to compare with themselves, and even next time I want to go there, and they want to more focus on that area. So like all these things are going on and we never stop with that. So how our attitude should be towards money, Guru Maharaj?
Money is Lakshmi. She's the goddess of fortune. But she is Durga for the materialists. She is auspiciousness for the spiritualists. Use money in the service of the Lord. Take what you need to live, whatever extra you have, give it and use it in the service of Krishna. Put it in the service of the Divine. Money is meant to be used. Use it. Today I went to see Mahalakshmi. Today I went in Kolhapur. This is the biggest place. This is Mahalakshmi's headquarters in the world, Kolhapur. Thousands and thousands of people every day come to see Mahalakshmi. And she is very merciful. Of course, people pray for her for material gain, but devotees pray to her for service to Narayan. So Lakshmi, money is wealth. Wealth means Krishna is the source of all wealth. Use money, take what you need to live nicely. And how other people live, you can't concern yourself so much with that because you just go crazy. This will work on yourself. Ultimate, the solution was given by Prabhupada, but we don't want the solution. We want a compromise solution. We still want material life and we want Krishna consciousness. We're still confused on how to live and how to do things. It's because we're still mixing two things that don't mix. Therefore, there's no solution. There's just patchwork. There's compromise. There's getting by. That's all. It's not a solution. Prabhupada gave us the formula. Live according to Prabhupada's direction, or live yourself. He gave us a lot of instructions, but one of the main instructions he said was, divide your wealth, 50% for religious principles, 25%, 25%. If you can't do that, at least don't get enamored by all of the garbage that's on the market just so you can live nicely. The modern generation is always producing more and more stuff we don't need. It's hard, but ultimately Prabhupada said, build these farm communities. Because this is the future of our society, this is the future of the world. Modern material civilization will become more and more impossible. As long as we are still patronizing that lifestyle, we're going to find it hard. Just the way it is. I just gave the example with cows. We're still kind of compromising the whole idea of milk. And we're still wondering why we still have problems. If we're breaking the laws of God and expecting to become Krishna conscious at the same time, we can't. And the laws of nature are the laws of God also. We are part of nature. We are not separate from nature. All life, except the human beings, works according to nature's arrangement, except the human being. Why? Because the human being has developed intelligence, and they misuse that intelligence to act independently of God and independently of nature. They create a civilization that is completely based on a wrong principle, that the goal of life is sense gratification and economic development. That's materialistic society. That's their goal. Economic development, sense gratification. Our idea is, our focus is simple living, Krishna consciousness. Completely the opposite. But if you want to live in this society, you have to make compromises in order to practice Krishna consciousness. But those compromises shouldn't interfere with your practice of Krishna consciousness. So money is there. Take advantage of it, earn what you need, and then ultimately use it accordingly. Then that money will bring you stability in life, and at the same time will elevate you towards devotional life. The misuse of that, the example is given like a knife. A knife is neither good nor bad. If it's used to cut vegetables, or if a surgeon uses it for an operation, it's good. With the same knife, it's in the hand of a dacoit, it's causing harm to others. Same with money. Money is neither good nor bad. It's who's using it and how it's being used. Use it for Krishna and it will bring you up. Use it for sense gratification, it will cause you problems.
Yes, Maharaj. But usually we say that we want to send our kids to college education, and here the college education is very high price, and for that we have to save money and we have to earn more money. So like all these problems come up in our front, and so always think in that direction, like we want to make more money, do two jobs or earn extra money somehow. Like in that race, many people are there, Maharaj, and sometimes feel bad that I'm not able to earn more money to satisfy everything. So this is how most of the thinking is, Maharaj.
There'll never be enough money. As long as you live in this civilization, you'll never have enough. Because there's more and more reasons why the government will take your money through taxes and tariffs, and at the same time they'll create more and more amenities in society that you consider to be necessities, where you need more money in order to fulfill that. You're in a situation where you can't win. It's just the way it is. That's materialistic society. We bought into the materialistic society. We have to play the game, right? So what can you do? The only thing you can do is become Krishna conscious. And somehow tolerate all of this other stuff. But that's plan number 2. Plan number 1 is get out of this society. Create a Krishna conscious community that is separate from the rest of society. Grow your own food, keep cows, live simply, educate your own children, develop temples, spiritual schools, farm communities. This is Prabhupada's threat. He foresaw very clearly the degradation and the destruction of all human values. He writes about it and speaks about it all the time. So as long as you're plugged into this society, there is a compromise program that you have to adopt in order to live. There's no question about it. If you don't want to go that route, then you have to work for pulling yourself out of the society and developing these communities. We have these communities in some places. They're developing. If you go to Govardhan Echo Village and see what they're doing there, you'll be amazed.
Yes, Maharaj. Yes, good, Maharaj. Thank you.
That's just one of the prototypes of the Srila Prabhupada's plan for, self-sufficiency. You have to understand one thing. Material society can only go down. Because when there's no God consciousness, God consciousness is being marginalized to some kind of small minority of the population, the society will just continue to degrade. It can improve materially. All of their plans for material improvement just creates more and more problems because they're missing the center. If you want to go to say you're living in Dallas, Texas, and you want to go to California, and somebody says, well, in order to do that, you have to go east. So you go east, you're going farther away from the goal. And whatever you come by way of going east just increases your problem because you're in the wrong direction. So society's in the wrong direction. The whole society, the whole world's in the wrong direction. Because they don't see the importance of God consciousness. It's relegated to something less. And therefore, they're trying to make a civilization simply based on money and commerce, economic, advancement. And they're killing the aesthetic, moral, and principle and spiritual values of everybody. And there's more crime, there's more more problems, more problems, more problems. Even Prahlad Maharaj makes a point. He says material solutions to material problems are more problematic than the problems. Every time you try to solve a material problem with a material solution, you create another problem. The only solution is on the spiritual problem. Just like the transportation problem. All right, so we have cars, we have airplanes, people can fly anywhere. And then you have deaths and accidents. You have exploitation of the earth for all the resources you need in order to keep these machines running. So they solved the transportation problem, at least in theory they did, but they created another 20 other problems that come by way of having all of these machines. So you just see, anytime you use a material solution to a material problem, you create another problem.
Yes, Guru Maharaj. Yeah. As you said, we have the knowledge, but we are not implementing in the right direction. As you said, instead of going west, I'm going east. So definitely there is a problem. Yes, I have to turn around. Yes.
The direction has to be the way you want to go. Proper to. You want to go towards Krishna, not away from Krishna.
Yes, Guru Maharaj. Yeah. Thank you so much. I took a lot of time. Everybody lowered their hands. Satyabhama Mataji, please ask Sri Devi Mataji's question on chat.
Thank you. Thanks.
I think, what's her name?
Supriya.
See, it's, for me, in 5 minutes, I have another class.
Just one last question, Maharaj, from Sri Devi Mataji. Just wanted to ensure that how do we make sure that your book is distributed at ILS? And that's what Sri Devi Mataji wanted to ask.
I'm going to be there.
Oh, you'll be there. Okay.
And don't worry, I'll give you some of the books. You can distribute them also.
Okay, so Sri Devi Mataji, I hope that answers your question. Maharaj will be there. Thank you.
I think I'll be there. Let me see. When ILS starts on what day?
Sri Devi Mataji, you know which day the ILS is starting?
7th, right?
3rd, Mataji.
Wait a minute, I have my schedule here. I've got my schedule.
Maharaj, we can't see you, Maharaj.
That's good.
3rd February is what I heard.
Wait a minute, I have the schedule right here. Okay. So ILS starts on 12. ILS starts on February and it goes from 12th February to 16th February.
Oh.
GBC meetings start at 7 and end then on 11. Shravana Utsava, which is preaching programs for the general public, starts on the 13th and ends at the 17th. The festival is inaugurated. GBC is Tagosti, DD Report, Kirtan, Mela, and Harivas. It's all inaugurated on the 17th. On the 18th is the Kirtan Mela to the 22nd. 19th is Shivaratri at Jagannath Mandir. And then there's a few things in the middle. And the Navadvip Mandala Parikram starts on the 23rd. Goes to the 1st. Sri Devi sent me this list, so just take that same list and you can send it to the devotees. Okay, I think I have to depart because I have a very small but very important class tonight. It has to start at 7 and end at a very early time, so I have to say goodbye. Thank you very much. It's nice we discussed the problems in Kali Yuga because then you can understand what is the solution. First of all, you have to recognize that to live in this society means to compromise one's values. But therefore, when we associate with devotees and build our own communities, then we can have the strength and be free from compromising our values, our time, our energy. So, ISKCON as a society has the way to go yet. But the solutions are in Prabhupada's books, his lectures, and in the minds of many of his disciples.
Thank you, Maharaj.
की जय गुरु महाराज की जय गुरु महाराज की जय Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Krishna.